What is up, guys? We're back with another video, and today we're taking a look at this mini ITX motherboard right here. This is the ASRock Z790 PG-ITX TB4. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, as far as what comes in the box, you're going to get your Wi-Fi antennas, 2 SATA cables, 2 Velcro ties, 3 M.2 screws, thermal tape for the M.2 slots, a Phantom Gaming keycap, a Phantom Gaming postcard, and your user's manual. As we take a first look at the board here, you will notice that it is quite small. That's of course because this is a mini ITX motherboard, and this is a Phantom gaming board from ASRock, so it keeps that same color design that we've seen from them in the past. So we have a black PCB with red and silver accents. Starting at the CPU socket, we have Intel's LGA 1700 socket, which is going to support Intel's 12th, 13th, and 14th generation core processors. Surrounding the CPU socket, we have our power delivery components, and ASRock is making use of a 10+1+1 power phase design with 105 amp smart power stages. So with 10 phases for the CPU, you have 1050 amps of available power. The power delivery components are covered by 2 large heat sinks, which are connected by a heat pipe. On the top of the larger heatsink is the rear I/O cover, which really brings the top half of the board together and looks quite nice. Hiding in the top corner of the board is your 8-pin EPS connector, and then moving across the top edge of the board, you'll find a 3-pin addressable RGB header, and then 3 4-pin fan headers, one of which is your CPU fan header. Since this is a mini ITX board, you're only going to find 2 DDR5 slots. These slots are metal reinforced and support DDR5 memory up to 7000 MHz. Along the front edge of the board, you'll find your status LED array, clear CMOS button, a 24-pin ATX power connection, front panel headers, 4-pin standard RGB header, a USB 3.2 header, 3 SATA 6 gig ports, and a USB 3.2 Gen 2x2 header. You're also only going to find a single expansion slot on this board, which is a PCI Express 5.0 x16 slot. It is metal reinforced, which is definitely nice to see. Right above this slot is a heatsink, which covers the main M.2 slot, which is PCI Express 4.0. Moving along to the rear I/O, we have an integrated I/O shield that has the Phantom Gaming logo on it. As far as connections go, from left to right, we have DisplayPort, HDMI, 6 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports, 2.5 gig LAN, 2 Thunderbolt 4 Type C ports, Wi-Fi 6E antenna connections, and your audio connections. ASRock is using Killer for its networking, so the 2.5 gig LAN connection is the E3100, while the Wi-Fi 6E is their AX1675. Flipping the board over, you'll actually find 2 more M.2 slots. Both of these are PCI Express 4.0, but one will also support SATA-based M.2 drives. These do not come with heatsinks. As we come to the end here, I do really like this board. You know, when we're picking out these very small boards, you always want to sort of have the same type of functionality that you would get in a larger ATX motherboard. And I think for the most part, ASRock has done it here. We have PCI Express 5.0 on that expansion slot. We have a more than powerful enough VRM for high-end Intel processors. We actually tested this board with a Core i9-13900K, and we didn't have any problems at all. Of course, you have USB 3.2 Gen 2x2, as well as 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the back, which is definitely nice to see if you are making use of Thunderbolts. And then you do get 3 M.2 slots, which is pretty much the same as what you would get on a normal size ATX motherboard. Now they are Gen 4, so that's the only thing that I would say that this board does not have, is we don't have Gen 5 storage, but you're still getting 3 Gen 4 slots on here, which again, Gen 4 I think is plenty fast enough. And again, the price difference between Gen 4 and Gen 5 is kind of a lot, and I think that if you just load this up with 3 Gen 4 drives, you'll definitely be covered. And that's really nice because this is such a small board and there are a ton of really small form factor systems, is that you can load all 3 of those M.2 slots up and not have to worry about mounting a 2.5-inch SSD anywhere, which I definitely like. There's really not any real issues that we ran into with this board. Like I said, the only thing that's missing is Gen 5 storage, but if that's not a big issue, I think this is a solid board that you can pick up for your Z790 build, especially if you are doing a small form factor build. We have a video on the BIOS of this motherboard as well if you want to check that out. I think the ASRock BIOS is really good and easy to navigate there. Now, I will have links below to our full written review, which you can check out on ThinkComputers.org. We'll also have links below where you can go ahead and pick this board up. Now, if you have any questions about this board, definitely leave them below in the comments section. And if you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. We'll see you guys in the next video.